and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a little while since I last uploaded. I have been sick with COVID. It is now passing. You can probably hear a little bit still in my voice, but it is starting to pass. So I wanted to pop on here and make a new video for you guys. And I also want to let you guys know that I have decided that I'm going to be making this channel my top priority. Previously, my other YouTube channel has been kind of where I've been putting my energy into. But I've decided that I love this channel so much. And it's really helping my reading to continue talking about it and whatnot. So I'm going to be upping my content over here to at least 2 videos a week, sometimes 3, we'll see. So yeah, you guys can expect some more content from me, but today we are going to be talking about the books that I am hoping to read in June. I have been on a huge thriller kick, and I know that you guys love when I talk about thrillers, and I have quite a few good sounding ones here, a couple of which I have talked about before. Actually, only one I think I've talked about before. The rest will be new to me anyway. A couple of them are more famous books, so I'm sure that you guys will have heard of them already, but some I don't think you will have heard of either. So without further ado, let's get on into it. And we are going to start by probably the most famous book that's on this list, and that is Paul Tremblay's The Cabin at the End of the World. So this is one that I've had on my TBR for quite a while, and I have heard so many things about it. This one, I think most thriller lovers have either heard of this one or have read this one, and I'm really excited to finally get into this one. I actually ended up wanting to read this last year. Well, it was actually probably a few months ago, probably around Halloween time, and I was going to pick it up, and then I thought I'm going to wait until summer, because sometimes I like to read things like it's a cabin on a lake, so I kind of wanted to take this with me to our cabin on the lake, but I want to read this month. I'm not too sure if we will end up being at the lake this month, but either way, it's starting to be summer, so I figured it's finally time for me to dip my toes into this one. And from what I remember, this one revolves around a family that takes a trip to, like I said, a cabin on a lake, and they're just having a little vacation, and all of a sudden their daughter is playing out in the front yard, and a man approaches her and kind of makes friends with her, starts talking to her, and then he kind of gives her a warning, and he says that he and his friends will be coming and are going to be trying to get into their house, and that he says your parents aren't going to want to let us in, but they have to, or it's a matter of life and death or something like that. And so that sounds really creepy. So I don't know if this is going to be some sort of like, I don't know, like if these people are going to be trying to break into this cabin, if this is, I hope that it's not just going to be like a gory, murderous book. I don't think it is, but it sounds really interesting. So next we have a book called Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan, and you guys look at this cover. How gorgeous is that? Like, I would have just bought this just for this. It is so pretty. But I'm going to read you the synopsis to this one because I bought this a while ago. I think I got it at Indigo, and I do think that it is, I think I got it like in the clearance section. It was like $6, and it is a young adult book. But it says, 17 years ago, an eclipse cloaked the kingdom of Rehulk in perpetual darkness, and in the chaos, an evil chancellor murdered the king and queen and seized their throne. Luna, the kingdom's lost princess, has been locked away in a tower in the cursed Black Woods ever since. Luna's survival depends entirely on the world believing she is dead. But that doesn't stop Luna from longing for a life beyond the stifling tower walls. When she meets Fowler, a mysterious archer who has braved the Black Woods in search of a land where the sun still shines, Luna is drawn to him despite the risk. When the tower is attacked, Luna and Fowler escape together. But this world of darkness is far more treacherous than Luna ever realized. Hideous, flesh-hungry creatures lurk behind every corner, and each stranger they encounter has frightening ulterior motives. With every threat stacked against them, Luna and Fowler find solace in each other. But with secrets still unspoken between them, falling in love might be their most dangerous journey yet. So this one is something a little bit different from what I would typically read, but I thought it sounded interesting, and the cover's really pretty, so we'll see how it goes. So this is a book that I have talked about on my channel before, and this is called House by Frank Purdy and Ted Dekker, and I'm pretty sure that it's actually been on a TBR of mine in the past, but this time I really am going to be reading it. I have also picked up the audiobook copy of it. I get through quite a few audiobooks because I listen to them when I put my son to sleep, when I'm rocking him to sleep, and in the middle of the night when he wakes up, I listen to them, so I get through quite a bit of audiobooks. So I picked this one up, and I am definitely going to be reading it this month now. You guys, just so you know, if you hear, my dog is right in front of my camera playing with her toys, so I apologize if she's annoying. But anyways, this one follows a couple who are, I believe they are on a road trip or something like that, and they end up getting deserted on a strange road in Alabama. They find themselves driving fast and running late. Their world suddenly changes when a strange accident leaves them stranded with no car, no cell phone coverage, and no help in sight. They have no choice except to continue on foot. They end up walking a long ways, and they finally get to this house where they meet with several other people who have had this exact same experience happen to them, and they are all kind of converging on this house at the same time. And they're not sure if this is like some sort of cat and mouse game, like was this accident planned? Are these crazy people trying to get them here to play some sort of weird, I don't know, murder game? I don't know. Or if it's something more, look at this. Look at this. Hi. Hi, Penny. This is Penny. She's interested in what I'm doing. Okay, I had to put her outside. She was getting way too excited. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm not sure if this is going to be some sort of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, sort of, it's going to go that direction, or if it's going to be more of a horror scenario where maybe like this house is somehow drawing these people to the house. I don't know, but I'm definitely excited to find out. So the next book is one that I believe they turned into a movie, and mostly that's because the book cover that I have is from the movie, but I've never seen the movie before, and it's called Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. And basically what happens is every time this person goes to sleep, I don't know if it's male or female or what their identity is, but they basically forget every single thing about their life. They go to sleep every night, they wake up in the morning, they don't know who they are or anything about themselves or their life. And it says, and what if the one person that you trust might only be telling you half the story? So I don't know why this is happening, if this is just some sort of like weird thing that's happening to this person out of nowhere, or if there's been some sort of medical issue that has caused this to be happening, but that is literally all that the synopsis says. That's it. That's all we get for this. So sounds interesting enough. I'll buy it. And we'll find out at the end of the month how it actually goes. So next is All the Things We Do in the Dark by Sandra Mitchell, and this is another really pretty cover. And this one says, something happened to Ava. The curving scar on her face is proof, but Ava would rather keep that something hidden, buried deep in her heart and her soul. She has her best friend Sid, and she has her tattoos, a colorful quilt like a security blanket over her whole body. And now, suddenly, she has Haley. Beautiful, sweet Haley, who seems to like Ava as much as Ava likes her. And Ava isn't letting anything get in the way of finally seeking peace. But in the woods on the outskirts of town, the traces of someone else's secrets lie frozen, awaiting Ava's discovery. And what Ava finds threatens to topple the carefully constructed wall of normalcy she's spent years building. Secrets leave scars. But when the secret in question is not your own, do you ignore the truth and walk away? Or do you let it reopen old wounds that have finally begun to heal? So this one sounds really good too. I'm not sure if this is going to be a little bit more on the contemporary side. Like, I have the ability to turn anything sort of creepy, so a lot of times I will end up picking up books that I think kind of sound creepy or eerie in some way, and it ends up just being a contemporary. So we'll see what ends up happening with this one. Next is a book called The Second Life of Ava Rivers by Faith Gardner, and this one, I feel like I've read something kind of like this before. The synopsis kind of reminds me of Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker. Very, very similar synopsis. So I'm very interested to see how this one kind of shapes up. But basically, this is a story about two twin girls. and one of them ends up going missing. Then 12 years later, the other twin is kind of like getting ready to go to college when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they get the call that they've been waiting for years and years and years, 12 years, and her twin has been found. So now they are trying to figure out what happened to her, where she's been all these years. So I imagine we're gonna get that story, but I'm very, very interested to see how it's handled because like I said, it reminds me exactly almost of the plot line of this one in the synopsis. So I guess we'll see how this one goes. Now, I already have quite a big TBR stack here. As you guys can tell, this is quite a few for me, I think. But I do want to check out this one, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is obviously a very famous book. I believe they've made it into a Netflix TV show or something like that, or they're planning to. And I've had this one once again on my TBR for way too long. So I think it's finally time to pick this one up if I do have time this month. And this one says, Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price. And no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams. But he can't pull it off alone. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. And basically it just seems like a whole mismatch full of people, kind of Breakfast Club sort of situation, all grouped together trying to pull off this heist. And I don't know, it sounds really interesting. So, and obviously this is a very famous book already, so it's got to be good, right? I hope so, because I was really, really excited. This one, once again, kind of reminds me of The Raven Cycle, and I was really excited to read that one, and I didn't really like it all that much. So, like, it was okay, but we'll see. Anyways, you guys, those are the books that I am hoping to get through this month. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of them and kind of where your star rating lies or what you thought of them. And also make sure and come back at the end of the month to see the wrap up, to see if I actually did read any of them and what my thoughts on them were. Anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!